Capital J here, and we are here with ANL Media once again. And today we have an exclusive with the biggest promoters in the city, PartyChaser.com, and the faces behind it actually. So I'm gonna let them go ahead and introduce themselves.
DeVille,
Matt,
Mike.
So honestly, how are you guys today?
Good.
It's kind of hot up here. I'm sorry.
No, it's good.
Yeah. So when I hear the name Party Chaser, I automatically kind of associate it with like some of the livest parties I've probably ever been to. As far as y'all always know who to bring out, the venues are always popping, the DJs are always popping. It's always a sold out event. You know what I mean? So I really want to start by asking, like, how did all of this begin? Like, was this just like?
Well, I started out in the music industry, so I'm actually a graphic designer by trade. And so that's how I kind of got started. At one point in time, I was like the go-to guy for all the flyers, party flyers.
Okay.
So with doing that, I met a lot of party promoters. And so that's kind of how it all evolved. I started to get to know the promoters more. They started to invite me out to the events. I kind of got a first-hand look to see on how they, conducted business and how they put events together. So I just decided, now that I'm in that world, let me try it out.
Right.
So a couple of promoters, they actually let me hop aboard, and been rolling ever since.
So as far as like what you mean by hop aboard, when did you make the decision to be like, I'm not gonna be the flyer guy. I'm gonna actually get out here and.
Well, that hasn't stopped. I'm still kind of a flyer
So
guy.
you do,
I do fly. I still do flyers,
okay,
and that's
cool.
that's one of our. I think that's one of the things that kind of set us apart from a lot of other companies, because a lot of things we provide are in-house. So we don't have to go outside the company to spend extra money, and if you know anything about parties, it's always time sensitive, and you're always on a time schedule. So keeping everything in-house, it makes everything run a little more smoother.
Okay.
But to answer your question, no, I'm still doing flyers, but it started. It's been about 14 years now since I started. Yeah.
Just like that was just you solely with the flyers.
Yeah, it started out with me. Eventually, I met some other guys, Ron and Rob with Dallas Peeps at that time. They were more like the MySpace at that time.
Yeah.
Before MySpace, here locally, and so I just kind of teamed up with them, and it seemed like a no-brainer. And since then, I've had different partners, but right now this is the team right here, and so
these are the guys.
Yeah, that's what we're moving with.
Okay, cool. So how were you were promoting at Improv? How was that?
Improv kind of got started through a friend of mine named Tam. She represents quite a few comedians. She's based out of Cali now, and so as comedians would come down and get booked at the Improv, she would reach out to us, for marketing to help promote the comedy show. And so then in turn, we would have the comedians come out and host the events. So that's kind of how that played out, and we built a nice relationship with the Improv ever since that started.
Oh, that's nice. That's what's up. So I kind of want to get into more of like a backstory of where Dallas has come from as far as party-wise, promotion-wise. I know in the last 10 years it's been a lot of different changes. We've had a lot of promotional teams coming in and out. Access Dallas, I remember a lot of promotion teams that I used to hear through high school. I don't even remember anymore, but they were just so big at that time. How do you, y'all have pretty much seen all of that, kind of come and fade. So how was that to watch, and what kind of took y'all, apart to separate y'all? Because y'all are obviously still here and stronger than ever. So what kind of separated y'all from the fad?
I think the idea behind Party Chaser has always been to serve an underserved market here in Dallas. Over the years, you got your LA, New York, Vegas, Miami. Those are the big cities that everybody thinks of as entertainment. And then when they come to Dallas, they don't really feel like there's anything out there. So with Party Chaser, what we've always tried to do is raise the level of entertainment and nightlife in the city. And so over the years, that's what we've tried to do, is just raise everything. And while we might be leading, there's been plenty that have helped do that same thing. All these promotional companies that you've talked about, everybody chips in, everybody brings in something different, a different style, a different element, and it's just been growing. And as the population grows, there's more and more of a need to serve that population and provide them with entertainment and quality nightlife, and we're going to continue to do that.
Okay, awesome. What do you think?
Well, I want to start by saying, by sharing how we met. So Mac and I are originally from Ethiopia. We were both born and raised. Actually, he moved here when he was 7. I moved here shortly after I graduated high school. And so while I was back home after graduating from 12th grade, I started DJing. I just had a passion for music. And so I started DJing, and one of the biggest clubs that had just opened up hired me to DJ 3 nights a week. And so, I started marketing myself, branding myself, and it went from DJing at high school parties to doing private events, and now I'm at this new club DJing. And so when I moved here, Mac had a passion for music as well. He plays the keys. And, I shared my interest, of DJing with him. And so we started doing parties in the Ethiopian community. And then we quickly realized that, that market was very fickle. And so we kind of, wanted to taste the different waters. And so we started going to urban parties downtown. Little do we know, Opus was being promoted by one of the biggest marketing firms, Party Chaser. And so a small conversation with Rob Howard and the different partners, DeVille and Ron, led to us getting involved in running their operations. And so from there, running operations to now being owners, we've seen different trends, but we've always been the company that has paved the way for those getting in the game. And so, we always stay on the cutting edge, right, of the promotion game. And so, to answer your question, I feel really strong about what we've done and what we continue to do, like Max said, to serve that market that we feel is underserved.
And definitely, you guys are definitely serving that market, because we keep coming back every weekend. We're always looking for something. So it's like these parties that have gotten bigger. You've had people like Future come out, Brittany Renner, just different A-list celebrities coming. So what goes into the party planning phase of everything? Like, you want
there's
to
a lot.
I know it's a lot. I know it's a lot. And they make it seem so simple, honestly. Like, me, I'm kind of a person that if I want to plan a party, it'd probably be something at home, in the living room, something real small and intimate. But I don't know, when I went to college, you see people throwing parties left and right, and it's like, I know more goes into this than just the flyer.
Well, at the end of the day, we're still a service-based company, so the main thing is you have to understand who your customer base is and understand what they're looking for and give them the best possible experience with that. So keeping up with trends, keeping up with what's going on nationwide, with us being primarily servicing the hip-hop community, keeping up with what acts are hot, what TV shows.
Do you guys do that? Is that just between you 3, you 4?
No, we do research. We ask questions. We ask patrons, who would they like to see. We follow trends online to see who's popping. So it's just
to bloggers, talk to the barber. He know everything.
Everything,
so. Yeah. That's kind of how it goes when it comes to the planning.
Okay. And what's the best party that, if y'all had to choose just one, up to date?
Probably the best one for me. We're each gonna speak on our own experience. It was when the Mavs were in the finals in 2011. We did a party at the Ghost Bar, and it was a combined effort with another group from a different demographic. So we had a very mixed and united turnout. The city was turning up for the Mavs, and it was just it was a great environment. The energy was high. It was just a great party. So that's probably that. And
That was a good year anyway.
yeah, it was that, and probably the Shaq party that we did at NBA All-Star Weekend in Houston. Those are the two that stand out for us.
For those two. Any other?
I think All-Star. Now this party we didn't throw ourselves, but we we were in on the marketing. And you mentioned Access Dallas, and actually Awesome is the one that brought us in. But it was the Diddy party in LA. And just riding through the city throughout the day, and him being on the radio, and he actually mentioned our name, and it's just like, damn. And then when you get to the event, they got the big screens behind him, and you see Party Chaser behind Diddy. So it was a real nice event. So it's been a lot though. Yeah.
I don't necessarily have a favorite party that we've thrown, because we've thrown multiple ones. But if I were to choose a venue where we constantly entertain people, would be the Ghost Bar. Yeah.
Okay. And I know you said, as far as like seeing your name behind, that's kind of something behind Diddy.
Yeah.
That's kind of something I wanted to get into, the name Party Chaser. Where did that even originate from?
I don't know. I don't know. At the time, you had Dallas Black was pretty much the go-to website to find out where all the hot events were. And I just wanted to create something like that, but for a younger demographic. Because I felt like at that time, I felt like their crowd was a little older than what I liked or what my peers liked. So I just wanted to create something for a younger crowd, kind of basing it off the same thing they had going on. And I just felt like, people want to party, and they want to find out where all the parties are. Because at that time, I wanted to be like the Yahoo of party events.
Okay.
I want you to be able to go everywhere in the world, and no matter what city you in, you can pull up Party Chaser to find out what's going on in that city. And that was the whole idea behind it when I started it. It kind of, once I started actually throwing parties, then it kind of changed, because I saw it wasn't a lot of money in just promoting other people's events, but then when you could make a lot more when you threw your own. So it kind of took a fork in the road and went another way. But yeah, that was the whole reason when I first started. But yeah, it was just to chase the parties.
Chase the party.
Yep.
I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. I wanted to put two and two together, but I don't want to be that simple and be like, is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Okay. So I really appreciate you guys allowing us to come out and talk.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
All on your bundle.
It ain't coming out, But no, I really appreciate you guys allowing us to sit down with you today. I guess my biggest question, just kind of to wrap everything up with, is from, you said 14 years of just being in the business. What is something that you feel like could possibly change the way that, like you said, Dallas is looked at as far as nightlife? People come down here, they don't really know that we have to offer what we do offer them when you actually come visit. That was kind of a weird question.
Yeah, you
like,
got
it made sense in my head, but then when I said it, it didn't make sense at all. So I'm gonna just skip that one. That one's cool.
Now, where were you trying to go though?
I think I follow your train of thought. Well, Dallas is a growing market. It's one of the fastest growing cities, metroplexes in the U.S. right now. So it's just a matter of getting out there and putting together quality events, having people come attend and have a good time. They'll talk about it, and then it's just a matter of time. Hey, Dallas is lit. Y'all need to go check it out. And obviously, we're not the only ones doing it. There's a lot of other companies, out there, a lot of other groups that are putting on. And there's a little, friendly rivalry or competition, which hopefully results in everybody kind of stepping up their game one level at a time. And that's how we're going to be able to put Dallas on the map, or put it up on a higher pedestal.
Okay, cool. So we got 2018 coming up.
Yeah.
And is there anything that you guys kind of have behind the scenes or coming up that we could know about as far as going into the new year?
Well, right now we're building a new team. So, I mean, we would like to invite people to reach out to us
Oh, wow.
if you want to get in this business. If you're
What are
in,
you looking for exactly? Just everything?
I
Anything?
mean, you know, with parties, there comes fashion, there comes beauty, there comes fitness, there comes, people that want to actually work inside of a nightclub.
Right.
So there's a lot of positions and a lot of roles that can be played in the nightlife industry. So whatever you're trying to achieve, just reach out to us, and we're going to try to do whatever we can to help you reach your goals, and vice versa. You know, you scratch our backs, we'll scratch yours.
Okay,
So.
cool. And is there anything that, per se, they need to be prepared for stepping into an industry such as?
It's a whole lot more work than people. It's not just, you don't just show up and it just makes itself happen. There's a lot of work behind it. People don't realize, and sometimes that scares people. But that's probably the main thing that people need to be prepared for.
10,000 followers. I need to get paid right now, man. You know what I'm saying?
Be prepared. Be prepared to face a lot of disappointment. Because when you look at the industry from the outside looking in, yeah, Party Chaser has great parties, but the amount of work that we put in day out, you wouldn't believe how many hours we put in really to actually produce just one single event. You know, it takes more than just, hey, creating a flyer or creating a video and just spamming everyone on social media, if that makes any sense. So definitely, have tough skin, because it's going to require, some of it, yeah, for sure.
So tell me something. You guys don't only party promote. I've seen you guys throw concerts and do other things. What else are you guys doing other than just throwing parties here in Dallas?
Yeah, I mean, we're a full service nightlife production company and a marketing company. So we do all those things you mentioned. We do charity events. We do stuff for the city. So and on top of that, we also want to help out small businesses in our community. We have the marketing know-how that we can lend our expertise to small businesses and help them grow too. So those are some of the things that we want to see Party Chaser grow into moving forward. And for me and Mike, with us being originally from Africa and having kind of an international perspective, one of the things that we'd like to see Party Chaser do is something that's near and dear to our hearts. Is we believe music unites people, and considering like the state of how everything is right now in the world, we need unity more than anything. And so we've gotten into other projects to where we're not only marketing for the urban and African American markets, but now we're getting into international markets, Caribbean, African music. Afro pop is hot right now. We just did the WizKid concert. We got a new night that we opened up that caters to that market. And so we see even in our regular Party Chaser urban events that when we play African music, it doesn't matter. The beat catches on to you. You ain't got to know what he's saying or what the lyrics are. The beat catches on and gets you moving. So we see that music can unite people, and we want to use that power to create more unity and grow.
I love that diversity is such a number one factor. Because you would think about it. You think that so many people only try to target one specific group of people. You know what I mean? All of that. What are you doing?
I mean, at the end of the day, we're all the same. And from the dawn of mankind, people, when they want to celebrate, they want to, party with people. If you're going through hard times, you want to get over, you want to go drink, or whatever. So, that nightlife scene and the idea of entertainment is never going to go away. And we have that as common ground across all races, all groups. It doesn't matter what it is. So you can bring it together, play different types of music and bring everybody together. That's a great thing.
All right. Well, like I said, I'm so happy that we were able to sit here and talk with you guys today. I'm really excited to see what happens with this team. As you guys heard, they are hiring officially, partychaser.com. So doesn't matter what you do, they're looking for everything: fashion, music, models, bottle girls, anything that goes on in the club. Y'all know better than I just turned 21 3 months ago. Come on now. I don't know. But thank you guys for coming out. ANL Media, you can definitely follow us at _ANL Media. Where can we follow you guys? Where can we find you guys as far as social media?
Everything is
Like,
Party Chaser.
Everything Party Chaser?
There you go.
All right.
Yeah, so website www.partychaser.com, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, anywhere we're there.
Alrighty. Nice to see you guys. See you later.